What is up, everyone? We have most amazing top 10 videos people back on the channel, and they got for us today the top 10 most haunted places in the world. Let's see what they got to say about this. I like haunted places. I like the paranormal. So this ought to be interesting. Maybe I can put a couple on the bucket list. Who knows? And if you're new here, like, share, subscribe, comment. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Chateau de Grizza, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. We do a ton of scary content over here at Most Amazing Top 10, so it was only a matter of time before we counted down the top 10 most haunted places in the world. Hauntings are the cornerstone of so many horrific happenings. You usually have murder, decrepit buildings, mystery, and ghosts all wrapped into one. As always, I would love it if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. And stick around for the whole list because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. If anyone at home wants some more Most Amazing Top 10 content, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We are starting to do Facebook exclusive content. If anyone at home needs some merch, check out the link in the description below. Use the offer code MA10 to get $5 off, which means you grab a shirt for only 10 bucks. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have Salem, Massachusetts, USA, a town revered by the occult and has a dark enough history to make any horror fan squeal with glee. Salem, Massachusetts was the home of the 1692 Salem witch trial.
Yes, I remember all about this. There's been a... I think I learned about this in school. I seen it on TV. Never been there. Nor do I plan on going there. Maybe one day I will. But it's definitely haunted. It definitely belongs on the list.
This is where a massive witch hunt led to the hanging of 19 people who were falsely accused of using witchcraft. There are several spots around the town that give off an extremely creepy vibe and have reported hauntings. But the most notorious place is the former home of Sheriff George Corwin. He was the man responsible for spearheading the hunting and capture.
Alright, that's the first time I heard of him. Never heard of him before there, so something new.
Of these witches. Not only that, but the people that were captured, he would take them into his basement and then he would torture these people until they confessed to their crimes. Now his ghost and the ghosts of...
Oh, he a fucked up individual. Oh, now I can see why he's hanging around.
Several other people who were tortured by him haunt the Joshua Ward House, which is the building that sits on the land that the sheriff's house used to be on. At number 9, we have the Fairmont Hotel in Banff, Canada. If you have never been to Banff, it is one of the most beautiful places in the whole world. There's amazing skiing in the winter, and in the summer, it turns into a lush green wonderland. If you were a ghost, this would be a paradise to haunt. The Fairmont sits on top of a mountain that looks so regal, it could double as the grand...
Putting this place on the bucket list. For sure. Maybe a nice getaway with the wife. Won't be so bad to go there. It looks kind of nice.
And Budapest Hotel. It was built in 1888 and it was the center point to increase tourism in the area, and it worked. But like any...
I mean, look at the view. The view is just amazing. Yeah. Definitely putting this on the list where I need to go.
Old building, this place has adopted some guests that refuse to check out. There are 2 ghosts that are responsible for the majority of the ghost sightings, one being that of an old bellhop. He was the employee of the hotel back in the 70s, and after he kicked the bucket, he decided that retirement wasn't for him. His ghost has been seen throughout the hotel, helping people to this day. Very few people get to do what they love. Why let...
You know, if I died there, I wouldn't want to leave there either. Hell no.
A little thing like death stop you from sticking to your passion. Another ghost is that of the bride dressed all in white. The story goes that she tripped down a staircase on the day of her wedding and met a grim ending. That is a huge bummer. You're about to make it to the altar.
Can you imagine the groom, how devastated he was? I bet you that poor man didn't date a soul. Ooh. His soon-to-be wife died on her wedding day. Ah, wow. Heartbreaking right there. Ooh.
And you lose your footing. Oh, that sucks. And I'm raving the Chinoi Church in Beijing, China. An old mysterious building that sits in Beijing, China. There are several...
First of all, I ain't going to China. We all know why we won't go to China. And people watching in China, y'all some crazy people over there eating all that weird, yeah, I saw videos. This is how this whole pandemic started. It was from you guys. I ain't going there.
Elements to this building that make it an intriguing place for anyone.
I mean, I don't hate the Chinese people, but they eat weird. You can look up videos and you can see what they eat. And wow. Oh, bizarre.
Interested in the supernatural. First, no one knows who built the building or who commissioned the building to be built, almost as if an outside force created the building.
Well, now that's interesting. There has to be some kind of paper trail. I mean, a building just don't happen. I mean, somebody had to commission it.
Like the devil came to town and was like, yeah, let's build a church. Also, on the front door of the building, there is a note that makes it very clear that there are no ghosts inside.
Okay. That's like saying a for sale sign that said, not haunted. It's probably haunted.
Which is super sus. Like where I live, there's no note about ghosts because it's just a given. We know there's no ghosts. This place uses the used car salesman approach to convincing people. Yeah, that rickety noise in the back? Oh, that's just something the car makes. It's an added feature. The residence is haunted by the ghost of a young woman who killed herself by hanging during the communist war in China. Some say she did this because her husband was killed at war, and others say she was trying to avoid capture. At number 7, we have the Shanghai tunnels in Portland, USA. A Shanghai tunnel sounds like a place where you go to bet on...
Again, yeah, Ghost Adventures went there. And, you know, it was quite disturbing what they did there. I'm sure he's going to cover it. But, oh hell, I'm just going to say. There was a bar above the underground tunnels where he's talking about. And they used to, ooh, what they did to people down there. It's just a thing of horror. And yeah, wow.
Horse racing and eat the best fried rice you've ever had in your life. But it actually used to be the epicenter for human trafficking in the United States. Located in Portland, Oregon, the tunnels are now run down and unused. Back in the 19th century, people walking through these tunnels would often be kidnapped and then sold overseas into slave labor. Some bars above these tunnels had trap doors in them, which they would use to take drunk people, slip them down into the tunnels where they would never be seen again. A lot of people died in these tunnels before they were sold off into slavery. Now it's said that their angry ghosts walk the halls. Screaming, banging, and even weeping can be heard when you pass through these tunnels. At number 6, we have La Chateau de Grizza, France. We are heading all over the world with this list, and now we're heading to a place that has a long, rich history, France. It makes sense to waltz right into a castle, besides being one of the most glorious buildings in all of France.
It is really a nice building, nice scenery, but I won't go there because you're gonna fly.
Exciting reason to visit this place is the spectral tourist attraction. Back during the reign of King Charles VII, he was married to a beautiful woman who he unfortunately found out was cheating on him. He wasn't too happy with this, so he divorced her, and that...
Why cheat? If you're not happy, just leave. There's no need to cheat.
was that? I'm just kidding. It was the 1400s. He also had her killed for insulting his honor. That's how they did things back then. When her life ended, she was wearing a green dress. Now it said you can see the ghost of a woman in a green dress walking the halls, moaning for her lost love. At number 5, we have Morgan House, Kalimpong, India. The estate formerly owned by the Morgans has a rather dark past. The house was lived in by Baron George Morgan and his wife back in the 1930s. Apparently, Mr. Morgan would spend a lot of his free time torturing his wife, with them being in India and his wife having nowhere to go.
Okay, I don't know. The more I hear about India, the more it sounds like it's really a place of horror. I mean, I think it was maybe 5 years ago or so, maybe less. Maybe you all seen it. If you're not, you gotta check it out. It's on Amazon Prime, I do believe. Zach Bagans, The Demon House. What CPS saw and the sheriff, they saw a poor kid being tossed across the room. And this was in Indiana. And there's more stories I could tell you about Indiana that we'll be here for all night telling you. And the more I hear about it, it sounds like Indiana is like a really, really hot spot for paranormal. I'm telling you.
She eventually fell into a depression. Not long after that, she died. The two never had any kids, and after Mr. Morgan died, the Indian government took control of the property. It has now been spruced up into a nice hotel, but the terrors of this building's past haven't been washed away. Mrs. Morgan is free from her husband and has no interest in leaving her home. Many patrons of the hotel say they have heard her high heels walking along the wooden floors. At number 4, we have Casa Loma, Toronto, Canada. The most famously haunted place in all of Toronto. It's literally a massive
One way to get me to Canada.
Castle that is a 10-minute drive from the world-famous CN Tower. It's strange having a massive stone castle built in the early 20th century so close to the downtown core, but that's probably why it's so haunted. All the ghosts want to gather there because it feels like home. One of the most haunted areas of the castle are the secret underground tunnels which connect different sections of the property. There have been reports of a ghostly miner who might have died digging the tunnels and a lady in a white dress. Also, the castle's former owner, Lady Mary Pellet, has been seen all throughout the building. Some people say they've tried to take a picture of her when she's walking through, and she will use her ghostly powers to turn off your camera. Sounds like she's not very photogenic. If you want to give yourself an extra fright, you should come check out the castle in October when they turn the whole thing into a massive haunted house. I've been, it's a great time. At number 3, we have the Hill of Crosses in Lithuania. The look of this place will make you say, oh yeah, there are for sure some ghosts in here. This hill has been...
Look at that place. Oh my God.
The site of rebellion, respect, and remembering the dead for the past 500 years. People have come here to place crosses as a way to pay good fortune to those who died fighting for the freedom of Lithuania. This practice has made it a safe haven for spirits to walk through, and there have been reports of seances performed there trying to contact these dead heroes. There are currently over 100,000 crosses piled up on this hill. Back in the Soviet reign, they tried to destroy this holy landmark 3 times. Three times. But the Lithuanian people stood strong and came back to rebuild it every time. That's a pretty awesome story of solidarity.
Oh, yeah.
I know why ghosts want to hang out here. They're like, I know my home will be safe forever. At number 2, we have Cemetery Number 1 in New Orleans, USA. This place has been nicknamed the Haunted City because it is literally filled with so many graves.
I actually do want to go there. You see it in movies all the time, TV shows. I really do want to check this place out. I mean, it's just amazing.
That you could fill a small theater. There are over 700 graves at this site. You pack that many people into one spot and you are guaranteed some strange spirits walking around. On Halloween, it must be like a massive party in there. It would be a giant ghost rave with the coolest people from the last 200 years. The grave that gets the most attention is that of former voodoo priestess Marie Laveau. It said she had the power to influence spirits, and now even in death, her ghost can gain strength from the graveyard and get the phantoms to do her bidding. I mean, that's a good skill to have after you're dead. You're like, oh, you guys, you work for me. That's how this is gonna work. And for the number 1 spot, we have the Rose Hall in Montego Bay, Jamaica. a beautiful mansion that used to be the home of the Palmers back in the 19th century. The two were a loving couple, or that's what the public thought. Mr. Palmer died one day of suspicious causes, but foul play was inconclusive. Annie Palmer...
Alright, there's a show called The Ghost Brothers. They went there, and it was actually an interesting story that they learned, and just amazing what this woman did. And yeah, she would cheat on her husband with the slaves back in the day. And if I'm correct, she's buried on the property somewhere.
Palmer took control of the property, and people weren't too suspicious until her two following husbands and her parents died, all without warning. Now things are getting a little suspicious. The urban legend of Annie Palmer is that she was a witch and she would use dark magic to kill her victims. It's said that her evil spirit still inhabits the Rose Hall. A witch ghost sounds pretty serious, especially one that has killed people. That's not something you want to disturb for your own entertainment, right? Well, you totally can. You can take tours of the building which highlight all the legends surrounding the witch of the Rose Hall. And if you really want to bring some bad mojo into your life, you can take part in a seance to communicate with the spirit of Annie Palmer. I think the ghost of a murderous...
Yeah, right there, see?
Which isn't something I would want to hang out with. Alright everyone, that is our list, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. If you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, feel free to message again another day. And if it takes me a little long to get back to you, I am very sorry because I have so many of these to do, but I also...
Alright. Yeah. Tell me what your favorite place is on the list. I mean, they're all interesting in their own way. And, yeah. Until the next one, guys, like, share, subscribe, comment, and we'll catch you on the next one.